What is fermented coffee? Exploring the process and benefits. Fermented coffee is a rising star in the world of specialty coffee, capturing the attention and taste buds of coffee enthusiasts everywhere. But what exactly is fermented coffee, and why is it gaining so much popularity? What is fermented coffee? Fermented coffee is a unique and flavorful beverage that has gained popularity in recent years. Fermentation is a natural process that occurs when coffee cherries are left to ferment, allowing microorganisms to break down the sugars and create complex flavors. This fermentation process is what gives fermented coffee its distinct taste and aroma. How is fermented coffee different? Compared to traditional coffee, which is processed through methods like washing or dry processing, fermented coffee undergoes an additional fermentation stage. This additional step enhances its flavor and aroma, resulting in a more complex and enjoyable cup of coffee. Fermentation in coffee production. Fermentation is a crucial step in the coffee production process that helps to develop the unique flavors and aromas that coffee lovers enjoy. There are two main methods of fermentation used in coffee production: dry fermentation and wet fermentation. Dry fermentation. Dry fermentation is a natural process that involves leaving the coffee cherries to ferment without the addition of water. The cherries are spread out on patios or raised beds and left to ferment for a specific period. During this time, microorganisms break down the sugars in the mucilage, creating distinct flavors. Dry fermentation can take several days, depending on factors such as temperature and desired flavor profiles. Wet fermentation. Wet fermentation involves removing the outer skin of the coffee cherries and fermenting them in water tanks. This method speeds up the fermentation process and also produces unique flavors. The fermentation process. The process of fermenting coffee beans involves several steps. Ripe coffee cherries are hand-picked or mechanically harvested and sorted to ensure only high-quality cherries are used. The outer skin of the cherries is removed through pulping, leaving behind the mucilage-covered beans. The beans are then washed to remove any remaining pulp. The washed coffee beans are placed in fermentation tanks or on drying beds, where they are left to ferment for a specific duration. This stage is crucial, as it allows the microorganisms to break down the sugars in the mucilage, creating the unique flavors that coffee enthusiasts crave. After fermentation, the coffee beans are dried either in the sun or using mechanical dryers to remove excess moisture and preserve their flavor. Once dried, the coffee beans are stored in airtight containers to maintain their freshness and quality. The benefits of fermented coffee. Fermented coffee offers a range of benefits that make it a unique and enticing option for coffee lovers. Here are some of the main advantages: enhanced flavor and aroma, improved shelf life, potential health benefits, specific benefits. Fermented coffee has been linked to improved digestion, increased energy levels, and a boost in mental clarity. These potential advantages make fermented coffee an appealing choice for those looking to not only enjoy a delicious and aromatic cup of coffee, but also support their overall health and well-being. Different types of fermented coffee. When it comes to fermented coffee, there is a wide variety to explore based on the country of origin. Different coffee-growing regions around the world have their unique fermentation techniques, resulting in distinct flavors that are a delight for coffee enthusiasts. Let's take a closer look at some of the popular types of fermented coffee. Ethiopian fermented coffee. Ethiopian fermented coffee is known for its floral and fruity notes. The coffee beans undergo a natural fermentation process, where they are left to ferment in the cherry pulp before being washed and dried. This method gives Ethiopian coffee its distinctive flavor profile that is often described as vibrant and complex. It's no wonder that Ethiopian coffee is highly sought after by coffee connoisseurs. Guatemalan fermented coffee. Another popular type of fermented coffee is Guatemalan fermented coffee. This coffee is often praised for its chocolatey and nutty flavors. The fermentation process in Guatemala involves the use of wet fermentation, where the coffee beans are submerged in water for a specific period. This method allows the flavors to develop and intensify, creating a rich and indulgent cup of coffee. Indonesian fermented coffee. Indonesian fermented coffee is also worth mentioning. Indonesia is known for its unique processing methods, including the famous wet hulling technique. This method involves partially drying the coffee beans, removing the parchment layer, and then allowing them to dry further. The result is a coffee with a distinct earthy and spicy flavor profile that is loved by many. Fermented coffee, FAQs and insights. Is fermented coffee good for you? Fermented coffee is generally considered safe for consumption and can be enjoyed as part of a balanced diet. However, it's important to note that individual sensitivities and health conditions may vary. If you have any concerns, it's always a good idea to listen to your body and consult with a healthcare professional. Making fermented coffee at home. Yes, you can make fermented coffee at home. With fermentation kits like BurpLids' premium fermenting lids kit, you can easily control the fermentation process and experiment with different flavors. These kits provide an opportunity to create your own unique brew. Duration of coffee fermentation. The duration of coffee fermentation varies based on personal preference and desired flavors. It's recommended to follow specific recipes or guidelines provided with fermentation kits to ensure the best results. Does brewed fermented coffee go bad? Like any other brewed coffee, fermented coffee should be consumed within a reasonable time to enjoy its optimal flavors. Storing brewed coffee in an airtight container in the refrigerator can help preserve its freshness, allowing you to savor the distinct flavors and aromas of fermented coffee for as long as possible. Is fermented coffee alcoholic? No, fermented coffee does not contain significant levels of alcohol. The fermentation process in coffee does not produce alcohol as it does in alcoholic beverages, so you can enjoy fermented coffee without any concerns about its alcohol content. Fermented coffee with BurpLids. Elevate your flavor and shelf life. Fermented coffee is gaining popularity for its unique flavor and aroma, and BurpLids offers a revolutionary way to achieve the perfect fermentation process. With their plastic curing kits and vacuum-sealed lids, BurpLids eliminates the need for daily burping of mason jar lids, making the process faster and more efficient. Not only does fermented coffee have enhanced flavor and aroma compared to traditional coffee, but fermentation can also improve the shelf life of coffee beans. Don't settle for ordinary coffee when you can have the extraordinary. Visit the BurpLids website and start your journey to flavor perfection today. Craft your health, cultivate your life. Dawn.